When I was a boy, I remember an annual summer ritual that involved my mother and my grandmother. They, along with some other ladies in our family, gathered at my grandmother's house each morning and made a quilt by hand, something that few people do today. But the part I remember best is my grandmother preparing for the quilting, as she called it. Weeks before, she would ask family members to give her any old clothes that they were about to throw away. And my grandmother then sat each night and cut the old clothes into squares about 2 inches by 2 inches. Then she took some various patterns and colors and arranged them and sewed them into a larger piece. Then my grandmother laid those larger pieces into a design, and it was the design they used when they sewed it onto a backing, and that made the quilt. Now, I'm grateful that I have one of those quilts. One day I realized something. That quilt was a beautiful work of art and a picture of God's grace. You see, my grandmother took clothes others felt was no longer useful and turned them into something beautiful. And when I see my grandmother's quilt, my mind goes to Mary Magdalene in the Bible. Luke wrote that Jesus cast 7 demons out of her. Now, we don't know what the demons caused her to do, but we know she was grateful to our Lord for setting her free. When others saw a worthless, demonically possessed woman, Jesus saw someone beautiful, created with a purpose. Mary Magdalene, like my grandmother's quilt, demonstrates grace. And the message for you is, regardless of how worthless you feel, God can turn your life into something beautiful too. Think about it, and I will see you tomorrow.